Hello and welcome back. As you might have gathered, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be playing Romance of the Three Kingdoms XIII in preparation for supposedly coming out this year is Romance of the Three Kingdoms VIII. We're going to do a bit of a run. We're going to record it over the course of several days, but I'll probably record it over or release it over the course of several weeks. And this will kind of be our little dipping our toes into Romance of the Three Kingdoms before we eventually have Romance of the Three Kingdoms VIII coming out sometime this year, we hope. This is a strategy game that is set in the Three Kingdoms period of ancient China during or after the fall of the Han Empire, and it is largely driven by characters, or characters are largely going to be what is important, like how strong the characters are. So we have kind of a quick overview of a little bit of a character sheet for one of these custom officers that we have created. We're not going to play as this officer, but I just want to kind of quickly go over the types of the stat sheet, what it looks like. The main stats are leadership, war, intelligence, and governance. Governance kind of helps you to raise your cities up to be a lot stronger. Intelligence is useful in a few ways. It's useful both in debate, in diplomacy, as well as in battle for confusing your enemies and using special tactics. War is how strong you are as a soldier, as an individual warrior. There are duels in this game, which do not involve any sort of mechanical or... I think that there's a little bit of a mini game for duels in this game and a mini game for debate using intelligence, but we will kind of get into that later. Leadership is how good you are at leading the troops. A guy with really high war and low leadership it won't be the best at leading troops, but they'll be okay. A guy with really high leadership and low war will be pretty good, but it's good to have both of these high, or leadership and intelligence high. In their abilities, you'll notice a bunch of different abilities related to kind of empire building and commerce, farming, culture, training, patrol, and coax. These are useful for building up your empire in China, and then a lot of these are going to be useful for battle, which is going to be overall speed, arouse, endurance, siege, weapons, defense, naval, dueling, heroism, and strategy. And then a few of these are useful in interesting kind of niche cases, which is like negotiate, orator, and virtue. Virtue makes it easier for you to recruit guys. This is kind of just a quick overview. This is a custom officer we've made. We've made a ton of custom officers. I usually like to play with a ton of custom officers. I think we won't do this. That way we get a little bit more focus on the historical officers, kind of in our run through here, but here's kind of a slate of a few of the ones we've created. We haven't imported all of them to Romance 13, but on Romance 14, I think I have some 200 characters created, and I've been creating the same ones over the course of several of the games since like Romance of the Three Kingdoms X. So kind of have a very long backlog and history of these characters that we're not going to import, but it is something I really like. Instead, we are going to be playing with historical officer. And what we're going to be doing is we are going to be playing in a scenario that doesn't exist historically. I mean, we could engage in a historical scenario in Warlords, or we could do a Gathering of Heroes. And I think we're going to do a Gathering of Heroes because then we can kind of show off more individual officers and this type of stuff. And this is a fictional scenario. We get the wee-woos outside. Heroes of Chaos. We are going to have every officer appear in this scenario. It's fictional. Everyone appears. No one dies of old age. And we will not allow any of these new officers to appear, and we will stop for the wee-woos. Always stop for the wee-woos. So we will be playing a historical officer, and I think we want to play someone who is going to be not currently affiliated with a force. We are going to be starting out as someone who's free. The Romance of the Three Kingdoms games, there's generally two types. There's an RPG one where you play as an individual character, and then there's a nation ones which you play as an individual nation. They kind of alternate over the course of time. 13 and the remake 8, which is coming out, is an RPG one. I think we're going to sort by intelligence, and we are going to look to play as someone with high intelligence and decent leadership and other stats. That is also going to be useful for recruiting other guys, I think. I think we're going to look for someone who has virtue. I actually have a guy in mind already. And also is intelligent, and that this will be kind of a nice base, and someone who currently does not have a force. So if we come and take a look here, we have Lu Jun, Junyu, Fa Zheng, and Zhu Shu. But I think we have someone in mind who we want to play, but a few of these guys do have virtue. Zunyu has virtue, Zushu has virtue, but I think what we're going to play is we are going to play Lu Su, who is one of a character in history that I like quite a bit. I think we will get to take a look at his stats in just a sec. We're going to play with, just generally speaking, a high difficulty, but it's not too big a deal. These are just kind of a quick overview of the settings. I'll just take a look at them a little bit short in case you wanted to see what settings we're playing on, but just as a general rule of thumb, we're playing on kind of higher difficulties. Direct control only. Okay. And then we can have him speak Chinese or Japanese. I think we'll go with Chinese. And then we'll play with Lu Su, who is going to start out as a trader. He has 85 leadership, 56 war, 92 intelligence, and 90 governance. And once we get in, we will be able to take a look. He is a minister of Wu, but we are not going to skip the scenario opening. We're going to take a look at it. For years upon years in the Leader Han Dynasty, warriors driven by passion fought and killed each other to further their own cause. Were they driven by faith? That's Zheng Jiao and Zheng Blue. There's Lu Bu, the fiercest warrior of the Three Kingdoms. Was it purely for greed? And Dong Zhuo, who is kind of the guy who put into motion the fall, to some extent, of the Han Empire. Did they fight for honor? There's Yuan Shu and Yuan Shao, brothers who were pretty high up in the Han Imperial Court. Did they aspire for something greater? This is the Sun clans, Sun Jian, Sun Ce, and Sun Quan. We will actually appear kind of in their city. Was it their vast ambitions? That's Cao Cao, who created the dynasty that would eventually follow, or, well, he created that empire, the vast empire in the north, that eventually became the Jin dynasty after his grandson, I think, was overthrown. Was it a champion of justice? That's Liu Bei, who, in the romanticized version of Romance of the Three Kingdoms, is the good guy. Chaddest of Chads. And then it peppers in the rest of the heroes. These heroes transcend fate and time to face off in an epic conflict. And we will get started as Dear Lu Su. There's Sima Hui. There are two ways to live in this world. One is to raise your own flag and rule as your own force. This might be what we do. There's the other is to take service under someone's lord. You may raise your own flag in any empty city. Having good rapport and deep bond with others is useful, as they may come to support you. If you choose the licensed service, just venture into a city controlled by the lord you wish to serve. Who is the strongest lord, you ask? Hey, that is for you to decide. All is well, you should live life as you judge best. Okay, so I think we can click on our character and just take a look at who we have picked. Dear Lu Su here. We are really good at commerce, and we actually start out with the trader, independent sort of thing going on. And we're really good at negotiate, orator, and also virtue. So we're good at debating. We're good at doing commerce stuff. We're reasonably good at other sort of governance stuff. We have a high governance stat, a high intelligence stat, which is going to be useful for the debates. The leadership stat is such that we could actually lead troops reasonably well in battle. We do not have a bow aptitude of A or a spear aptitude of A, so we're not the very best. We also have a defense trait that will help us on camps and castle walls, and we will be pretty good in boats. Strategic aid gives allied defense and morale and heals a few troops. Not the best absolute strategy, but we do have our own special ability, which a lot of guys do not have. We're starting out as a merchant trader. Let's see. And that, I think, is kind of the main points. Our personality is calm. We value honor, or we value duty, bravery, and aptitude. And I think we take a quick look at our bio. Minister of Wu, entered service under Sun Quan, under the recommendation from Zhou Yu, insisted on an alliance with Liu Bei in the Battle of Qi Bi, inherited the title of commander after Zhou Yu's death, excelled in land-based battles. So we got a pretty solid, relatively well-rounded character, not the best at duels or fighting. We'll try and avoid that, and our forte is virtue, so we will look to be independent for now and find several people to follow us, to make our kind of name, and have as our allies and friends. And so this is going to be kind of the first thing we set about doing. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look to form some friendships with various people who we want to be on our side. Currently we have 4 slots for people to be with us as traders, and I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to look for anyone who's free, who has really high leadership, war, intelligence, and gov. I think we'll go for one of each, and we'll try and hunt them down one at a time, make friends, and then convince them to join us. So we see if we sort by leadership, we see Cao Cao, who founded the Empire of Wei, which eventually gave way to Sima Yi's clan, which was Jin. With a bit of a coup there. These guys are really, really high. If we scroll down a little, we will see that most people are currently under contract. But I believe Lu Jun was free. He had free status. And so we will scroll down. Here, let's sort by status, actually. And we will see everyone who's free. Okay, so a lot of these people have not yet been discovered. That's okay. So I guess we maybe chill and do some trading in town. Because these guys are not the best. This guy is decent in terms of war. But a lot of these guys have not yet been discovered. A lot of these free officers. And so instead, I guess we will not have friends. Sad day for us. We'll instead purchase an item. And as a trader, we gotta master the art of the deal. So we are just going to purchase an item, and then we're just going to use our special trade ability that we get. If we click on, let's see, I think it's here. We could see that we give, as traders, we give the trade special ability. We could sell items, that's also known as specialties, for a small profit. And so this is what we will do. We could also increase we can also give trade to the city we are in, even though we're not part of the affiliated force, and we can buy and sell supplies. But okay. This guy wants us to get 500,000 wealth in order to upgrade from being a trader. Right now we are a merchant, but more than anything else, having merchant friends. By increasing your comrades, which is our plan, and letting them take care of your deals, you can gain more coin than you would alone. Now that's the spirit. Keep your eyes on the motions of the world. As a merchant is not one who fights his way through the age, but one who survives and thrives. Ho ho ho! Live as your heart dictates. Alright. So, just to show, we're going to use the trade command here. We're going to trade this item. We are going to do it ourselves. Notice the 9 commerce comes in useful here. And we will... Oop, that's not the one we wanted. We will come in here, and we will use trade, and it will take us 20 days. And after 20 days, we will get a little bit of money. We have a guest. Alright, let's let them through. It's an official. Good to see you. You must have traveled far. Yet what brings you to the humble abode? Well, I've learned that you are in academic arts. That said, I would like you to help us for a short period. Help in what way? What we lack is ministry at the present, leading us to seek aid from those with no ranks but knowledge in the ways of the world. That's us. If that's what you need, then allow me to lend my modest talents. Good guy Lu Su, always being a good guy. As one does when one's good guy Lu Su. And our trade is almost complete. At which point, we will get a little bit of more money. Remember, we bought the item for 1,000, 1,800 gold. Ridiculous. Everyone knows that 1,000 gold is the going price. And now we have to have ourselves a debate. So this is called the art of the deal. This guy doesn't know anything about anything. Ooh. Let's shrink our head a little bit so that you can see just how dumb this guy is. This guy has 5 intelligence, we have 92 intelligence, and we have the order skill. So, of course, we will let him know. He, of course, is starving. Maybe if he was better at talking, he would be a little bit better at stuff. So, we're going to first ignore what he has to say about anything. That way it's going to set ourselves up, because he's going to use an ability now. He can only use Provoke. So, we will maybe talk more about this one, how this system works, as I remember how it works, because I don't fully remember. But we ignored, he used an Assert as his first move, and you can never use the same move twice in a row. So now he's locked into either Provoke or Retort, and it's a rock, paper, scissors system here. So we can Assert, Provoke, Retort, and we can set ourselves up so that no matter what he does, we should be winning. Oh, just kidding. So, yeah, unfortunately, he has a moral affiliation on the Provoke. I think we're going to just do an assert, which is going to give us the least damage if he does a retort. Usually the AI is pretty good about this. Oh, nope, he just does the provoke. And now his provoke is locked, and now he can only retort or assert. And so we can just do a provoke. He will probably assert. Alternatively, we could just ignore and set ourselves up for the next turn. There's a total of 5 turns. And now we can do anything, and he can only provoke and retort, and we can just provoke. The circle means that we have a bonus against him, so we can just do that. We're going to provoke. Shapa! And we let him know. Yeah, what's it taste like? It tastes like 5 intelligence, my guy. And we will take the victory, and we will gain some intelligence experience, but more importantly, we will get... that is an appropriate price. Very well, 1,800 is truly too cheap. I shall make the purchase at 2,700 gold. We bought it at 1,000 gold. Art of the deal here, guys. And now, what we are going to do is we will check again. We will check again. Oop. Go to info, go to officers, and we're going to take a little bit of a look again. And we're going to kind of do this quite often, where we're going to look for anyone who's free and see, like, for example, someone like Zhang Hui, who's reasonably good. See if anyone has kind of appeared, and we will try and recruit them to our side if we think that they are going to be worthy. And Zhang Hui is pretty worthy. Guan Suo is pretty good too. But I think Zhang Hui, we could take a quick look at him and his bio. He is an officer of Wei, the youngest son of Zhang Yao, who is a very, very good ministerial officer in terms of governance. A confidant of Sima Shi and Sima Zhao, who attacked and conquered Shu with Deng Ai, plotted with Jiang Wei to declare independence, but failed and was slain by Wei soldiers. So I think what we will do is we will take a trip to Wu. So back on the minimap, it's important to emphasize Wu's not too far away. If it was really far away, we might not want to make the move. This is only going to take us 16 days. We will progress through the map, which has a bunch of ports and forts and all kinds of stuff that you can do battle at. But now's not the time for battle. Now's the time for friendship. And everyone knows the power of friendship is what you need first before you crush your enemies beneath you. And so now we will visit Zhang Hui. And since we ourselves are so virtuous, it makes the introduction process a whole lot easier. Usually he refuses to meet new people, but you are a rare breed. This is because we are so virtuous, he will see us. And so what we will do now is the process of having nice talks, good discussions. And we will have a talk with him, and we will keep doing this until we get up to 80 relationship score with him. And we are now up to 10. So it's going to be about 8 times of doing this. And then we can see what happens. Usually we will get some sort of quest to become friendship before we can get him as one of our confidants. So this should be the last visit we need in order to get up to 80 rapport. I'm not sure exactly what triggers the quest for the rapport quest, but you often get it at the end of this, and so now we will get up to 80. Zhang Hui's rapport has reached its maximum. You need to strengthen our bond. For some reason, I feel a strange sort of bond with you, Lu Su. It must be because we're so handsome. We'll have to sit down and speak sometime. So now he's shown interest. So this is the presence of a quest. He's got even sent a child to deliver a letter. Big nice. Okay. Lend me your ear, will you? Well, I'll lend you both. You've been searching for a cow lamp for years, and I just heard new information. I know it exists, but I can't seem to pinpoint where to find it. We see? Do you think you'd be able to help you find the cow lamp? In other words, a treasure hunt? Accept a request. Alright, so we'll keep our eyes out for a cow lamp. If there are rumors in the city, someone must have it. I'll keep looking around the city. So, let's first go to the... Zhou Tai invited us to a banquet. Big nice. We'll say yes, of course. Zhou Tai is a great warrior. Fu Qian or Qian? Not so much. Yan Baiyahu? Not so much. But Zhou Tai, this guy's the man. He has probably 92 or 93 war in this game, I think. Some games he's quite a bit stronger than others. We could even take a look. Let's take a look. City Officer. Let's look at Basic. Big nice. Oh, he's 88. Ooh, they did him dirty in 13. Not so good here. But we can see Zhang Hui. Zhang Hui is kind of like us. He's got leadership in a decent amount, good intelligence. We have way more governance than him, though. But he is kind of an intelligence-based leader. But let's just see if we can purchase a cow lamp. No cow lamp here. Okay. So why don't we do an investigation? Or actually, let's not do an investigation. Let's do visit first. No one to visit here. Okay, so let's do an investigation and see if we can find ourselves a cow lamp. Something like this, maybe? We just find an officer. Let's see if we could talk in the tavern. Okay, so we might have some trouble then. We'll have to think about where to find a cow lamp. Usually... This is one that doesn't help us out too much. Okay. Alright, so we went one city over and we managed to find ourselves a cow lamp, which is going to be fantastic for us. So now we just have to go back to Zhang Hui and tell him we have found him a cow lamp. So let's do this. We went to Jianye for the cow lamp, and then we will go back to Wu to employ this man. We will visit dear Zhang Hui. But really, look at you. I've never been this excited before. Now I'm embarrassed. It do be like that. This makes me feel like I'm a greedy hoarder. A greedy hoarder. Okay. Not at all. They say all good people surround themselves with good things after all. Big Lusu, big nice. Not only good things, but good people like you too. Then pray you never stop. I like having you as a friend. I won't. The closer we get, the more good I see in you. Ba-boom. We friends now. And now, we will each kind of help each other out at being good at what we're each good at. So he's really good at Cokes, so he helps us out in that. We're good at Virtue, and so we help him out at that. And we each get a little bit better. Now, let's take a little bit of a look at Zhang Hui's info sheet now that he is good friends with us. For leadership, again, he's kind of this good, solid leader. 83 is a respectable score. Intelligence is quite good. And if we look at some of his other stuff, we'll see he has a Cokes of 8. 8 is incredibly high. Negotiate Orator, pretty good. Glad we didn't have to debate him. He's actually pretty good to debate. He's okay at commerce, okay at trading. He's got Virtue now from us, and he's pretty good at Siege as far as the battlefield goes. And Mock is his ability, which moves him towards us, and he's got decently high bow aptitude. So he's a little bit like us, not quite as good. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we can have him send a letter to someone like Zhou Tai to make friends with him. So he'll make friends with Zhou Tai, and we will set him as our comrade. So we have 4 comrade slots right now. We will set him in, and he will help boost some of our stats. The comrade effect right now is giving us +2 diplomacy. If I'm not mistaken, the purple feather fan is diplomacy, and the abacus thing is intelligence. Otherwise, it's the other way around. This one is war, the crossed sabers, and then the flag is leadership. And so we'll confirm him here. And so we will now be able to raise our own flag if we wanted. We're not going to do that quite yet. We're going to instead take a look, and we are going to look and see if we can find another officer who is worthy of being a part of our party. Now, we do have him talking to Zhou Tai, who's actually one of the better officers that's free in terms of leadership and strength. We see Zhu Huang is also going to be pretty good. If we sort by leadership, we see Lu Kang is pretty good, and Cheng Sha is a little bit far off. Lu Kang is maybe who we want to go for. Reasonably high governance. So we can go for several of these guys. This guy's in Changsha, this guy's in Kuao, this guy's in Lujiang. Lujiang's probably the closest, very high intelligence. If we look at some of his other stuff, we'll see he's a good orator. If we have to debate him, that's bad for us. You know, he's got some battlefield tactic stuff, which is pretty good. Overall, this guy's probably the best on the battlefield. He's got training patrol overall, and he's got some dueling heroism. He's got a pretty high war score of 91 +2, because he's got an item. And Lu Kang is probably... Lu Kang actually might be overall the best guy. Liu Kang is also very well balanced. It's pretty nice. And allied bow units attack in all directions. Well, we already have 2 guys who are good with the bow. Not that all these guys are mutually exclusive. We can go for multiple ones. But Lu Jiang is on the way to Changsha and Qiao, so maybe we go in that direction. So if we zoom out, Lu Jiang's right here. Changsha, I think, is down here. Oh my god, is my map not... Where's Changsha? There's Changsha. Changsha's down here, and Qiao's over here somewhere. Is it not? Yep, it's right there. So Lu Jiang's on the way for both ones, and it's our current main base. So I think we're going to move there, and that's where Peng Tong is. Now, while we are doing this, this guy is writing him a letter, so we'll have Zhou Tai in the bag. I think that the other ones we didn't like as much. Now, we have a shady-looking merchant. I think what we will do is we will just roar at him. He's trying to swindle us, and we'll say, no, stranger danger, we don't have to listen to this fool. And we'll just press on. Now, if we debated him, we could get a little bit of experience, and maybe we'll debate some more, but we do want to kind of return to our city and do some things. So we have decided to befriend Peng Tong here with the idea that if we make friends with him, then we can take another look at the info sheet following this and see if there's anyone else better, and he would be pretty solid, and he's already on the way to what we want to do. So we're going to have another discussion with him, dear Peng Tong, and we will see what we can do. Also, at a certain point, we will want to do the art of the deal, the art of the trade, and we will let these guys find friends. The reports become 80, and we do not get a quest. Unfortunate. Let's see if we can... I think Peng Tong likes booze, so let's see if we can buy some booze. We're going to buy some fruit liquor. Big nice on that. And then we are going to visit Peng Tong and see if we can become good friends through the art of the booze. No art of the deal. Let's have a gift and give him the liquor. He does like liquor. And now he's wants to be friends. Oh, just the person I wanted to see. And why is that? Have you really heard of the famous scholar who recently became a hermit? They had so many valuable scrolls and books, but now they're scattered all over. One particular one is intriguing me. It's Lian Zhu Wang. Can we find it for him? Accept the request. You'll have to talk to someone in the city, so it's another find quest. We could look for it just kind of on an immediate basis, but we don't find it here. And I think we can actually... No, okay, we don't get another buy slot. So I think what we're going to do... is we are going to look to find another friend while this is cooking, because this guy currently is writing a letter, and we will get Zhou Tai. He's only got a few days left. I think this is 14 days left, or 29 days remaining, and we'll be able to bring Zhou Tai into our kind of friend posse. And so, I think we'll look for another guy while trying to make money and do some things. Another guy to introduce ourselves to have our guy write a letter to, that we can make friends with later, if that makes sense. So Zhou Tai is not our friend, but if he becomes a friend of Zhang Hui, then he can join the posse. And so we just need to meet with someone in order to get it so Zhang Hui can send him a letter. So that's what we'll do. So now Zhou Tai and him are friends, Zhang Hui. So what we can do is we can now pair them together. So we will do that. Comrade. We will bring Zhou Tai into our force. So now we're getting instead of getting a boost 2 to intelligence, 2 to governance, we're getting 1 to intelligence, governance, and also now war, because our comrade, he values duty and bravery as well. Zhang Hui, we just value duty and aptitude, so we're a little bit different. But okay, we are nice and patriotic. Will we confirm our setup? Yes, we have 2 patriots and 1 merchant. We are the merchant here. You will fight for the sake of your land by your side, Lu Su. Which is nice to have, for us to have at least 1 war general near us, or on our side. And this means we can also do a letter. And we came over to meet dear... Not Peng Tong, although Peng Tong is big good. Oh, can he not... Oh, he doesn't know. Oh, we have to do it ourselves. Ooh, this is unfortunate. Okay, wait, Zhang... Okay. We can have this guy write a letter to Pang Tong. That's fine, too. Okay. So that means we might abandon this instead. Let's remove collecting the classics and come back to the city, Changsha, where Liu Kang is, and we will see if we can visit Liu Kang and improve our relations with this guy, because I think this guy is, overall, he's very, very strong. We'll take a look at his bio later, but I believe he was very early into the... Or he was the son of Liu Jun. Liu Jun would be better, but let's have a go at improving relations with this boyo. Alright, so we got our relationships to 80, and now we got our quest with Liu Kang, and it seems like he has a friend that needs a little bit of gold. We are 719 gold short. I'm sorry, but could I borrow the remainder? The scholar is a fine man. He's not a fine man. And I will vouch for his character. They need you to lend the gold, accept the request. Big nice. They apologize for the inconvenience. They, of course, want all the ducats we have. We've gathered enough gold. We have. The truth hurts, because this guy is a swindler. This is the hard truth. Here's the 719 gold. It's not a loan. You've been a kind old friend. I will pay you back even if it means risking your life. No need. Your generosity towards an old friend has moved my heart. Your friend's passion to learn has led him to an unfair deal. I could not overlook this. How could I, when value of learning is just as much? You are too kind. One cannot buy friendship with all the gold in the world. So his friend lost the money. But if we're not friends already, you've earned it with this. Boom. Boom, baby. So we will add him to our team, and we are also out of money entirely, which is not ideal. But we do have Liu Kang in the squad now, the big squad. And so let's take a look at some of his info now that he's in, and we'll also take a look at Zhou Tai. Let's take a look at his bio. He's an officer of Wu and the second son of Liu Jun, considered to be the last great hero of Wu at the Battle of Xialing, was sandwiched between the Wei army and a rebellion, but seized victory by building a two-fold wall. He's the first guy we have with A aptitude, right? With bow, so we have a lot of good bow guys. He's got decent commerce, training, patrol. Okay on the order stuff. The Zhang Hui is a little bit better. He's been trained up with virtue now that he's spoken with us. Speed 6, pretty nice. Naval's pretty nice. We maybe want to try and get a place where we can make use of our good naval guys. We have good navy and he has good navy. And then this tactic, bow allied units all attack in the same direction, combo morale. This means that we'll work well together. And he has comrades in the three of us as well. We're all comrades together. And he honors everything. Zhou Tai is probably just going to be more of a stat stick than anything. He does have Naval 8. Again, we have really good Navy guys overall. He's got Dueling 5, which is okay. Endurance, increasing the morale, restored regain after defeating enemy units, and Arouse increases attack and defense further, increases attack and defense when troop counts fight low. But other than that, he's kind of, a bit of a stat stick. He's got a little bit of heroism, but, he does some stuff. Unmoving, own attack and defense, it's reasonably good. But now we're looking to fill out the last slot, but we have Dear Pang Tong on the way. And so I think we will return, and we will start doing trading in order to make money. Now, we're going to need to buy a specialty, so we're going to need to do tricks and trades in order to get a little bit of money to get started, but then we're probably going to start trading a lot. So we've gone to the tavern to take some requests in order to raise a little bit of money to start trading. When drinking at Shouchun, I ended up giving up my family's treasured store to a suspicious merchant to pay my tab. I managed to get the gold back, but he wouldn't give me back the sword no matter how hard I tried. Could he help you get it back? Of course we can. So we'll take his request, and so we'll need to go to Shouchun, which is fine. Ooh, looks like we can write another letter. So, he's already writing a letter to Pang Tong. Can you send a letter? Why don't you send a letter to Zhou Tai? They're already friends, but they can be better friends. And that will increase relations between the two. And we will travel to Shouchun. I think what we're going to do is we're not going to stay independent for very long because I want to show off some of the aspects of the game. So I think we're going to look to raise our flag in Jiangxia just as soon as we kind of have our squad all together. You want the sword back. If I had to give people back everything they wanted when they wanted it, I wouldn't make any money, now would I? the truth hurts. This is the way of the world. But this is a request coming from you. I'll at least hear you out. Ah, we have ourselves a debate. Oh no, against Merchant Man. Lu Su, 95 intelligence, order 7, I guess, Mr. Merchant Man. Okay, so we have a morale followed by a lore. So we want to set up a turn where our lore, which is on provoke, will be really good, or our initial salvo is going to be really good. So we see that this just loses to only assert. So if we do something that loses... we will want him to lock assert. We could just ignore, and then look to run this next turn. I don't think he asserts this turn, because the AI doesn't usually do that, but I really don't know how the AI plays that well. I feel like the AI always distracts us. I think we'll open with... Well, I don't want to open with retort. They're not going to assert this turn. And if we know they're not going to assert, then why don't we provoke this turn, even though we have a lore coming on up. We will have a lore at the end, so we're going to provoke. Oh, he asserted. God damn it. AI is always being tricksy. Well, now we're going to ignore, because we don't have two good options. And now he's stuck in on retort. He has to retort, and we're just going to use our own bigger retort, I think. And save our provoke. And now he has to do provoke, and we will just assert into it. It's a lot easier because we have way more stats. Hua Lu Su. And then he's defeated. We gain a little bit of XP. That is true, you are correct. I'll give it back then. That should do it. I'll go back to Lu Jiang. And so, actually, maybe we'll be independent for a little bit. So we'll move back, even though it involves just a lot of trading. The thing is, we're going to run out of opportunities to be free, or to raise our flag in a city, because the AI is going to take up all the cities. In fact, Jiangxia is almost... It's kind of the last bastion. Alright, so we'll go to the tavern. We'll go to the tavern. Wait. We'll visit the guy. You got it back. Now that's the trader I know. Thank you very much. Please accept this as a thanks. And we'll get our little bit of our gold. Guo Yi is a little bit happy with us. And that'll hopefully give us enough money to buy something that we could start to sell. So then we will begin the trade process. So we see that our Zhang Hui and Peng Tong have become friends through letters. So we'll take a little bit of a pause, and now we can put in our last comrade here. Wait, can we put in Zhang? Can we put in him? Oh, we can put in Daddy. Daddy. Or we can put in Peng Tong. Now this is Zhang Hui's dad we could put in here, and he's now free in Hanzhong. Okay. Hear me out. We could ditch Zhou Tai. What happens if we ditch Zhou Tai? Go Peng Tong and Zhang Yao. +5/+5, so that's a total +10 stats. Kinda don't hate this though. +7 on intelligence. We'll be very, very high on intelligence. And we'll get a little bit of leadership and governance as well. I think that this is pretty solid. Zhang Yao is a free trader in Hanzhong. And we got some more of the family over here. I think if Lu Jun becomes free, then Liu Kang will allow us to invite him, which is actually very exciting. So we'll probably be trying to keep an eye out for that. But I think we might have enough to start our own little force. Maybe we'll be independent a little while longer. But that is going to be the squad. Now we're doing our trade, art of the deal, but we're going to get way more than the 500 we invested for it, and so we might have to debate it to be like that, but that's okay. I think we're going to conclude this episode here with the AI taking Lujiang. So it looks like all the cities have been taken. So if we're going to take a city, we're going to need a lot more resources than just simply planting our flag and say, hey, this is ours, bud. But this episode, we have been mainly focused on getting a few comrades. We have the very intelligent Peng Tong as our first comrade, who is going to be... we never read his bio. Advisor under Liu Bei, a colleague of Zhuge Liang, who's kind of the baddest guy in the bunch. He is the strongest general in the Three Kingdoms, also known as the Phoenix Fledgling, appointed Supreme Commander of Tactics, but suffered an unfortunate death when shot by an arrow, as one does. We also got Zhang Hui, who helped in the campaign into the south, who is a strong leader with strong intelligence. We got several strong leaders with strong intelligence. Lu Kang, the last hero of Wu, who's, again, strong leader, good intelligence, good governance stat. And then we do have ourselves a little bit of a bodyguard for our posse, who is a pretty strong warrior, pretty strong leader as well. This guy has Spear Aptitude B, and so we got a couple... He's our kind of only good spear guy, and the rest of us are kind of bow guys. That's kind of how we roll. And so this is what we've done. We've just made some friends as Lu Su here in Romance of the Three Kingdoms 13. Next episode, we will be focusing on trading as well as expanding and developing, having more comrades. So we will be getting into that next episode.